Well, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
How are we doing?
Good.
So, my name is Firefighter Jake. I'm a firefighter with the Saline Area Fire Department. Do you guys know where that is?
Yes, I do.
You do? Right downtown? Right? It's right next to City Hall. You guys know where City Hall is?
No.
No? So City Hall is also where our police department is. It's the same building. If you guys know where the Four Corners are, right? Downtown? Where Michigan Ave is and Saline Ann Arbor? Speedway, yep. So we're on the adjacent corner to Speedway. So if you guys know where the Speedway is, which is more of a landmark than us, but we're right across the street. Right across from the street, and right next to us is City Hall, and in City Hall is the police department, right? So do you guys know what my job is as a firefighter?
To keep people safe and serve.
To keep people safe, that's exactly right. Do you guys know, so you guys know what number to call to get me, right? Back up, 911, right? That's very easy. It's on the side of our trucks. It should be, you guys should have probably gone through that by now. I'm sure you guys have had that drilled into your head. So yeah, very good, 911. You can also call our station at any point. You don't have to call 911. You can also show up to our station because, like you said, our job is to serve, right? Is to keep people safe. So we go on all sorts of different calls, right? So if you guys, if your guys' house is on fire, right, we show up. Or if you fall off your bike and skin your knee and you need a Band-Aid, you can call us as well. We're there for that. If mom and dad get into a car accident, we go there for that. We show up to a lot of different things. So it's not just fighting fires is what I do. We do a lot of stuff with the schools here. What school do you guys go to? Heritage. Heritage, Harvest.
I'm going to Heritage.
You're going to Heritage?
I'm going to the middle school.
To the middle school, which is, that's up there, right? This was my middle school, so it's a little different since I've been here, but. So yeah, that's in Harvest, that's a Pittsfield, that's in Pittsfield. Pittsfield Fire Department will be there, but we work very closely with Pittsfield. We're in a very nice area. We're all.
Yeah, I know that fire station.
You know where Pittsfield Fire Station is? Yeah, same thing for them. You guys can give them a call anytime too. Go there anytime. So that's just a little something of what I do. Do you guys have any questions for me?
What do you do in a fire? Like, I do know, like, if you hear or if you see smoke, you go under and the door. If it's hot, there's fire near. But if it's not really hot, then fire isn't with that.
Yeah. So have you guys done safety? Any of you guys do Safety Town? Did you guys ever do Safety Town?
I did. Avery did.
Did you do Safety Town? So in Safety Town, it's just a summer program. Also, we come to the schools as well and teach you guys this. But you're exactly right. When the room fills with smoke, we want you to get low, right? Right. Just remember, stop, drop, and roll. Anything to do with fire, stop, drop, and roll is a good place to go, right? So if the room's filled with smoke rises to the ceiling. So you want to get low, because if you're in smoke, it's hard to see and it's hard to breathe, right? You can't see where you're going. We want you to get as low as possible so you can see where you're going. Also, you're exactly right. If you feel the door with the back of your hand, or a window or a wall or anything, feel it with the back of your hand so you don't burn the palm of your hand, right? So as this is much more sensitive, right? You can see if something's a lot hot versus this side of your hand. So we want you to use this side of your hand to see if something's hot. Right? And if it's hot, do you go through the door if it's hot? No. Right? Because fire could be on the other side, right? So you don't go that way. So then maybe you go to a window or a different door to find a different way out, or to let someone know that you're in there, right? And that's my job as a fireman, to show up and make sure I know where you are. And if you're inside and you can get to a window and you can yell for help, right? Yell as loud as you can, or if you have a flashlight to shine down if it's at night. That way I know where you guys are. Right, but that's exactly right.
How long does it take to get the fire gear on?
To get the fire done? The gear on. It takes me less than a minute. It doesn't take me very long at all. It takes me about 30 seconds.
Yeah, I knew it.
Because we're kind of lazy, so we keep our boots in our pants, right? We keep our boots in our pants, so we don't have to put our boots on separately. Also, my boots have zippers. I don't tie my shoes. I use zippers, because it's a lot faster than untying my boots. So we do everything kind of built for speed. So it takes us not very long at all.
What do you do if you're in your attic? Because I spend lots of time there.
If you're in your attic?
I have a window there, but it's really
I don't want to jump out that window because it's always.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, don't jump out a window if it's high. Don't do that. But go to the window. Go to the window. If you can't go down the attic ladder, go to the window. Let someone know you're there. Open that window, shout, and yell. I know all you guys can yell, right?
Yeah.
You can all yell pretty loud.
You can just go through the window, just breathe some fresh air.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Because going to the window and breathing fresh air is better than breathing smoke. Yeah, that's exactly right.
If there's a fire in the house, can the window break?
If there's a fire in the house, can the window break? The window can break because of fire. The fire can break a window. Also, we pretty much want you to break the window. So if you can't open the window, see if you can break it. Now, most of the time we're going to tell you guys to stay away from glass and stay away from windows, right? Because glass can cut you and we don't want that. But we'd rather see you guys get cut by a window so you can get out of it rather than staying in the house that's on fire, right? So we'd rather see you guys do that.
How fast can a fire truck go?
How fast can my fire truck go? Well, we have a lot of different fire trucks. The one that I drive can go pretty fast. I mean, as fast as a car can go. We don't go that fast because a fire truck weighs a lot. Our fire truck has 1,000 gallons of water in it, right? So it's a lot of water, and we have two that have 3,000 gallons of water in it. So when you have that much water, you can't go very fast because you want to be able to slow down, right? That's why we have lights and sirens. Those lights and sirens makes the rest of the roadway clear for us to drive safely through.
How much times is there a fire every day?
How much is there a fire every day? How often? Well, there's not a fire every day. We live in a very safe, very well community here.
So when was the last time?
So the last time we had a fire was Sunday. What's today? It's Tuesday. So a couple days ago. But before that, maybe a couple weeks. But we cover a large area. So we're down across the speedway, right? That's our station. That's where I work, and I'm there for 24 hours a day, right? So I'm there for a whole day. But we cover Lodi Township, York Township, Saline Township, and Saline City, right? So some of you guys, where do you guys live? Where do you live? Do you know?
Saline.
Saline, just Saline.
Saline Meadows.
Saline Meadows, okay.
Harvest.
Harvest. Do you live at Harvest?
No, he doesn't. I'm playing. He doesn't live in Harvest.
I live in the neighborhood next to Harvest.
Next to Harvest?
Oh yeah.
Me too. I live in the.
So, yeah, so that's Pittsfield, right? But even if your house had a fire, that's in an area where Pittsfield's going to show up and they're going to call us, right? So we cover a large area, right? Real big area. And even if Pittsfield has a fire, we're going to go. If you guys know where Dexter is?
No.
So Dexter is a town not too far from here. It's about 10 minutes from here, 10, 15 minutes. If they have a fire, we'll go. If Chelsea has a fire, Manchester, Ann Arbor, right? We work in a community where,
So you go, or do they call you?
they will call us if they need us.
Okay.
If they need us, they will give us a call. And it's always a better safe than sorry scenario. So like if they think they're going to need us, we go. So we live in a nice area where we all work together. But we cover a large area. We covered 90 square miles out of one station. So that's why, here in Saline, you might not hear about, a fire or a car accident or something, but maybe out in Lodi or out in York or out in Pittsfield, we go to those places as well to help out.
If you're in a room without any windows and if you open the door and you're gonna burn because of the fire, what are you supposed to do?
So if you can't go out your door because of the fire, if you can't go through the fire, you can't. No, I can't. Well, I'm a firefighter, but I can't walk through fire. I can't do that. No one can. So you got to shut the door, right? Maybe get a blanket and put it underneath the door. You guys know how sometimes there's a gap underneath the door.
Yes.
Get a blanket and shove the blanket underneath the door, right? So then that way the smoke doesn't get in. Nowadays they build doors that are fire rated, which means they have a certain time before that door will break or burn through, right? So it's almost all doors now are fire protection doors. They're designed to stop fire. So that's why we want you to keep that door shut.
What if you don't have a blanket in your room?
You could take your clothes off. I mean, yeah, that's a very good point. You could take your clothes off, use your shirt, you could use anything, right? And then again, use your voice, right? Yell, scream. We don't want you guys to hide. We don't want you guys to be stealth. Have you guys ever seen? I should have brought some fire gear. I didn't think of that because it's my fire gear is actually really dirty right now. So your teachers probably wouldn't appreciate me tracking dirt through the school. But have you guys seen a fireman when he's all dressed up? You know, we kind of wear a hat kind of like this, but it's a lot bigger. You know, it's a lot bigger. We wear a mask so you can't really see our face. It can be kind of like a gas mask. What it does, that mask gives us air, allows us to breathe through the smoke, right?
You have like 2 tanks behind you.
Yeah, we have one tank. We have one tank on our back that helps us breathe. So we might look real funny, right? We look funny, but we don't want you guys to hide from us, right? We want you guys to yell and shout and let us come find you, right? So if there's a fire in your room, we don't want you to hide in a closet. We don't want you to hide underneath your bed. We don't want you to get curled up in blankets, right? We want you guys to be visible. We want you guys to yell so we can come find you, all right?
How do you know where the location of the fire is or any emergency is?
Well, we know that because of cell phones, right? You guys all, mom and dad all have cell phones, right? Or older brothers and sisters. Everyone nowadays has got a cell phone. So we receive a lot of calls. If something's on fire or something bad is happening, we receive a lot of phone calls from people who are around who give us directions there. So we're real lucky in a day and age where as soon as we get the call, we know where we're going.
What if the firefighter doesn't find where you are?
What if we don't find where you are? We will. Well, we will find and come get you. You just got to keep yelling, keep screaming, right? Yep. Yeah, you guys all know how to yell, right? All right, on the count of 3, I want you to yell as loud as you can. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Just like that.
I can hear.
Yeah. Just like that. Just yell as loud as you can, or grab something and make noise, right? We want you guys to make noise, because that way we can come find you real easy. That was real loud. We're going to come find you guys if you're that loud.
But what if you lose your voice and there's nothing to make sound with?
Oh, you'll find a way. You'll find a way to make noise. I'm sure all you guys have found ways to make noise when you weren't supposed to.
Oh, yeah.
Kicking or punching.
Yep. So what grade are you guys in? What grade are you all in? 3rd grade? 4th?
I'm going to second.
Going into 2nd?
I'm going to second.
2nd? 4th?
Going to fourth.
4th? 6th? What about you? What grade are you in?
Every what grade are you going?
She's going to
Starting kindergarten.
Kindergarten? Kindergarten? Okay. Kindergarten. That's fun. You'll actually probably get to see me again, though, in a couple months then. Because we do a lot of stuff with kindergartens and 1st grade. But so you're going into the middle school, right? You're going up in there? Okay. So you guys will get to see me several more times throughout your education here at Saline. We do a good job of coming to see you guys. Chief Heft, my boss, he's a real tall guy, big bald head, right? It's real shiny. You'll be able to see him coming. He always wears a big white shirt with shiny buttons on it. So he'll come to talk to you guys a lot. He's always around in the school systems, right? So if you guys ever have questions, you can always ask him too. Question?
People say, like, when you have that suit, that suit makes you a little, not really vulnerable to fire. You're not really vulnerable to fire.
Well, so our fire suits protect us from fire. But like I said, I can't walk through fire, right? I can't walk through fire. It's not fireproof. Nothing's fireproof, right? So I got to be careful as well. But we train a lot. We train every week. We train with different equipment every day in our gear and everything. So we know how to get around different scenarios with that fire. But that fire suit protects us, right? That's why we can go into the house. If you guys do get out a window, right? If your house is on fire, you and mom and dad and everyone, your pet snake Henry, everyone gets out, right? Do you ever go back into the house?
No.
No? Not even for your favorite toy?
No.
Yeah, you never go back in the house, right? That's my job. So if you get out and your mom and dad are still in the house trying to get stuff out, you yell at mom and dad, just get out of the house. You just yell at them to get out of the house, right? Because that's my job. That's my job to go in, to put the fire out and get your favorite toys or protect your things or your favorite snake, right?
Wait. What if all the money burns down? Does the parents go? Do the parents go to the court of law? Because isn't like burning or ripping money like against the law?
It is against the law to destroy money. You are exactly right. But if your house catches fire and it burns money up, that is not your fault. That is no one's fault. All right. That's why mom and dad have insurance. That's why different companies exist, different things exist to help protect that. Yeah, and that's why you keep your money in banks. But yeah, if that happens, it's no one's fault. No one's to blame there.
When you're spraying the fire with your hose, how long does it take for the fire
To go out? That's a good question. So that depends on what's burning, right? So everyone's been around a campfire before, right? Making s'mores or cooking things over a campfire. Well, that's burning is wood, right? Like a tree, that's wood. That's pretty easy for us to put out. Water will put that out pretty easily, pretty quick, almost instantaneously as soon as we can get it there, right? As soon as the water touches it. Water, the molecules in water actually absorb heat, right? That's why water puts out fire, takes the heat away. So the wood goes out pretty quick. Now if your car catches on fire, right, that's not made of wood, is it? No one's car is made of wood here? No one has a Fred Flintstone car? You guys know the Flintstones? Yabba dabba doo? Pedal with your feet? No one has a car like that? Okay, well if your mom and dad's car catches fire, that might take a little longer for us to put out just because it's made out of not wood, it's made out of metal. So different things can take a while. So when a house catches on fire, there's a lot of different things in there, right? A lot of different, bricks, metals, woods, a lot of different things. So sometimes it can take us a couple hours to really put the fire out. We can stop it from spreading very fast. We can stop that very fast. But to get it out, it might take us several hours. That's why we want you guys out of that house and not to go back in until we can completely put the fire out. Do you guys know what a meeting place is? Speaking of getting out of the house. So have you ever talked about a fire plan?
Yes.
An emergency plan, right? What to do if the smoke detector goes off? You guys know what smoke detectors are, right? Let's see. Do we have a smoke detector in this room? Right there. Right? Yeah, it's very loud, right? So all houses are going to have smoke detectors, and if you don't, you should get on your parents. You bug your parents to get a smoke detector, right? So if your smoke detector goes off, right, because there's smoke in the house, or you don't know why it's going off, it's a good idea still to get out of the house. So you should have a meeting spot, right? So everyone knows what a mailbox is,
Yes.
right? We know where the mailbox is. That's a good meeting spot. A neighbor's house, if you have a next door neighbor. So a good meeting plan idea would be, all right, well, if the smoke detector goes off and it's in the middle of the night and you wake up, right, and you're kind of groggy and you're tired and the smoke detector's going off and you don't know where mom and dad are, right, where should you go? What should you do? What you should do is go to your meeting spot. So you should talk to your parents or whoever you're living with and have a meeting spot, okay? So that way, if the smoke detector goes off, you go right to that mailbox because that's your meeting spot, and mom and dad are there, well then you know everyone's out of the house and accounted for. Also, that helps us when I show up, because your smoke detector's going off, and I show up in my big red truck, and I see you're all at your meeting spot outside at the mailbox or neighbor's house or your family tree. I know everyone's okay, and I know you're safe, right? So I can get a head count and make sure everyone's okay. So it's a good idea to have a meeting plan or a meeting spot and a get out of your house safely plan, right, with your parents. It's a good idea to go ask them about that.
Hey, what if someone wants to kill somebody and they set the house on fire? Then is it their fault?
Well, I don't know about that. I'm not a judge. That's a whole different system. That's not my job.
That reminds me of the time last time I was sleeping. I woke up because the fire alarm was on and the fire alarm kept beeping and there was actually no fire.
There's no
I
fire?
was really confused why it was beeping.
So that happens a lot. Sometimes they run out of batteries and they start making weird noises. Sometimes there's different chemicals in the air that go off. So it's just a good idea as soon as that thing goes off to go outside. Go outside or give us a call, right, and say, hey, my smoke detector's going off. I don't know what's going on. Mom and dad can't fix it. I mean, how many times have mom and dad burnt something in the kitchen?
Oh yeah, I set a fire and it just went through the living room and made the smoke detector.
So the smoke detector went off, right?
The fire was literally so large as this big on her pot.
And it set the smoke detector off, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So even cooking, right? You guys might know what's causing that smoke detector to go off. You might know, oh man, mom and dad burnt pasta again, or they did something, right?
Or they're making a cake.
So then it's a good idea to go out to your meeting spot and then go, okay, well, where are we going for dinner? McDonald's, Wendy's, where are we going? Right? That's a good idea. And it's still a good idea to call us to come make sure everything's okay.
Or they might might be baking a cake for a birthday, but sad that burned.
Yeah, yep. They might be baking something. They forgot about it, right? That sets the smoke detectors off.
I feel like it should be heat detectors because if they're smoke detectors, then they're going to be just a little smoke and you could set it off and everyone would just run out.
Well, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. You guys ever heard of the saying, where there's smoke, there's fire?
Yeah.
You guys ever heard that? The reason for that saying is you can't get smoke without fire. You need fire to create smoke. So it's called a smoke detector because the smoke is the first thing it's going to be able to detect. If it was a heat detector, it might be a while before that detector goes off. It might be too late, right? So that smoke is the first indication that there's a fire. That's the first indication that something's wrong. So that's why the smoke detectors detect the smoke and not the heat.
If someone's trying to set your house on fire and try to kill you,
I already said that.
should we call the police or should we call the?
Well, so again, we live in a very nice area where everyone's showing up. If you call 911 for something, you're gonna get. I don't know if you guys have ever met Officer Dave yet.
Yeah.
You're gonna get Officer Dave. You're gonna get me. You're gonna get my fire chief. You're also gonna get Huron Valley Ambulance. You're gonna get a lot of people. We work very closely together. I work side by side with all of those guys, and we're all showing up together, right? So if that happens, hopefully it never happens, but just get out of your house and go to your meeting spot. That's the best thing to do. Now, you guys ever been driving with mom and dad and seen a car accident on the side of the road? Yeah.
I saw the ABC News truck.
Mm-hmm. Seen car accidents on the side of the road. So that's another thing I do is I show up to car accidents, right? Because I show up to make sure you guys are okay, that everyone can get out of the car, right? So if you guys see a car accident on the side of the road and there's none of us around, you don't see any firemen or police or anything, and you're not sure what's going on, it might be a good idea to say, Mom, Dad, we should call 911 and ask about that. Make sure everyone's okay, make sure fire's on the way. Or if you guys, and hopefully it never happens to you, but if you guys are in a car accident with mom and dad, right?
I was almost in one.
Yep, it's always call 911, right? Even if it's something you don't think is very serious, or mom and dad say, no, we don't need to do this, it's a good idea to call 911 because that way Officer Dave can come out, I can come out, we can make sure everyone's okay and everything's okay, all right? Same with, let's say you're going down the street. Let's say you guys are at Speedway going to get some slushies, right? Some, I don't know, with slushies or freezies, whatever they sell there. All right, and you're with some friends and you fall off a bike and someone skins their knee real bad and they're bleeding, right? Well, we're right across the street, right? We're right there. So if you don't have a phone, you guys can come over to the fire department and say, hey, my friend fell off his bike, he skinned his knee and he's bleeding. That's something that my job is as well, is to come help you guys with that, right? So even if your house is on fire or you fall off your bike, I'm there to help you guys. That's my job. That's what 911 is for, right? Question?
2 questions.
Yes.
One is, which is your favorite fire truck? And 2, what is your favorite piece of equipment?
What is my favorite fire truck?
You said you had several.
We do. We have 2 tankers that have 3,000 gallons of water apiece. We have an engine that has 1,000 gallons. That also has a lot of rescue equipment. It also has a really powerful pump on it so we can push water really fast. We have a heavy rescue. That one has no water, right? But there's a lot of different rescue equipment on there, like torches and the jaws of life and a whole bunch of different stuff to help us. We also have 2 brush trucks and we have a utility truck. My favorite, I think my favorite would be one of our brush trucks. It's fast.
What is the brush truck?
So a brush truck is there to help us fight a brush fire, a field fire, a grass fire. That fire we had on Sunday was actually a combine, a piece of farm equipment caught fire, and it caught the field on fire. So those brush trucks are smaller, right? But they're fast, right? And they can go between trees, right? Kind of like you guys ever seen like a 4-wheeler or a dune buggy, right? That's what it is. It's basically a dune buggy with a water tank on the back, right? So that way we can go through trees and we can go off-roading and we can get to the fire really fast. So that's what those are designed to help us do. And that's probably my favorite one because it can go fast.
Have you
Central New York, Chelsea Fire
ever
response for
got any prank
30
calls?
South Main Street.
A what call?
Prank calls.
Prank call, we've had prank calls before, but never do a prank call, right? Never prank call someone because that gets you in trouble. right? Prank calling can get you in trouble, so don't ever do that. And I'm sorry, what was your other question? Your favorite truck?
What's your favorite equipment?
Piece of equipment. My favorite piece of equipment
930 South.
would probably have to be the ropes. I like the ropes bag, because we practice if we're in a tall building, right? We have ropes on us. We have equipment in our belts and stuff to where we can scale down the side of a building with our ropes, right? So we can lower ourselves down. So I think that's kind of fun. I enjoy that. That's my favorite piece of equipment.
I got 2 questions also. One is when was the first prank call, and 2 was how many prank calls did you have?
Oh, we don't get prank calls a whole lot. I can't even remember the first prank call I had.
You don't need to answer that.
Yeah, I don't remember, because it's not appropriate, and usually that doesn't happen a lot because those people get into trouble.
What was your most recent prank call?
No, it's a prank call.
Questions about prank calls.
What's a prank call?
Well, what they mean by prank call is someone who calls 911 or someone who calls the fire station for something that's not an emergency, and they're just having fun, right? Calling 911, but that's not meant to be for fun. You can get into a lot of trouble, and the police are going to have to come talk to you. They're going to have to come talk to your parents, and it's a lot of trouble. So don't ever prank call, or don't ever use 911 system for fun, right? That's for emergencies only.
Can you go to jail for that?
You could. You guys won't, but you could if you repeatedly do it. That I don't know. It's
At least 20 years.
yeah.
20 years?
At least.
Or like 15, forgot my question.
Okay. What's your question?
Wait, what? Okay,
What's that?
I forgot.
What kind of training do you do?
What kind of training? We do all sorts of training. Like I said about the ropes, we practice going out windows with our ropes, belaying to the ground safely. We practice pumping water out of lakes or rivers or your swimming pool if we have to. We practice shooting water. We practice getting really low with all of our gear on, right? Because even with our gear on, we get low, right? We're not going to come walking in. We're going to crawl, right? Because of that smoke. We still want to be low. So we practice getting low. Right? We practice with our hoses, with our axes, chainsaws, jaws of life. We practice with almost all the equipment we have. You remember?
I saw a video of a prank call, and then the person who did it got swatted.
Swatted?
Yeah.
What's swatted?
Swatted is like a SWAT team.
Oh, like a SWAT team. Oh, okay. Well, hopefully that never happens. Don't ever get to that point, because that person might have did go to jail. Your question?
Why would you have to be in jail for 20 years just because?
That was a joke.
It was a joke, but
Don't do it.
don't do it is the point. Don't do it, because if you're calling 911, right, and we're talking to you, and someone's having a real emergency, and they can't get to us because we're talking to someone who's prank calling us, and that person ends up getting really, really hurt, right? And we could have done something about that, but because we couldn't, because we were dealing with the prank call, and that person got really, really hurt, then that's on that person who prank called us.
And usually the parents are in trouble.
Yes, and yes, so don't ever do it, because you could really end up hurting people. Any other questions? Not about prank calls. Yeah.
So how long do you need to go to school for this training to become a firefighter?
So that's a really good question. Again, throughout the school years, you guys are going to see us. We're going to talk about that. Usually my chief will be here, and another member of the fire department will be here, because we all took 3 different ways to get here. When my chief was a fireman, when he was younger than I am now, he was a fireman because he fit in the boots. He fit in the boots and he showed up. So that's how he got to be a fireman. And then another one of my colleagues, my co-workers, he was a fireman because he showed up to the fire department when he was a teenager. He washed trucks throughout high school, helped mop floors, helped clean, and just throughout the years he did the work, and he eventually became a fireman. And that's one way to do it. I graduated from Saline Area High School, and I went to college. I went to Lake Superior State University for 4 years. I went there and I studied fire science and criminal justice. And then when I graduated, I was a certified fireman, a certified EMT, and I had degrees in criminal justice, right? And so then I came back home and I got hired by Saline Fire Department. So there's several different ways that you can go about doing it.
About how many people volunteer to be a firefighter?
To be a firefighter? So at our fire station, we have a full-time staff where there's someone there 24/7, right? You can call the fire department at any time, someone's going to be there, right? I work 24-hour shifts, so I'm there for an entire day, right? And then someone else comes in, a couple more guys come in and work 24-hour shifts. So we have 10 people who work full-time who are there all the time. And then we have about 12 volunteers, right? Volunteers like maybe mom or dad who go to work every day, not at the fire department, but at a different job. But if we need help, we can call them, and they leave work or they leave school or whatever they're doing, and they come help us, right? So we got about 12 volunteers that come and help.
How often is there a fire?
How often is there a fire? Not that often. Not in Saline. Not that often. We live in a nice area where luckily we can go long periods of times without having a bad fire. Now, have you guys done tornado stuff at all?
A video about tornado
we're doing that at the
safety.
end.
At the end? Okay. All right. No, I'll let you guys. Yeah, because that's another thing you guys will see us do is storm and tornado safety. We'll come talk to you guys about that as well.
I just watched a video about tornado safety and what you need to bring and other stuff.
Yeah.
The main thing about bad weather, guys, is you want to be indoors, right? You want to be inside, right? And you want to stay away from what?
Window.
Windows, exactly right. You want to stay away from windows, right? Because we don't want that glass to break and cut you.
What about storm? Well, what about lightning?
Lightning, that's why you want to be indoors. If you're indoors, the lightning can't get you.
Unless the lightning strikes the house and makes a fire.
Yep, but either way, we're showing up, right? If there's lightning, if there's a storm, right? You guys call 911, house on fire, we show up. That's my job. That's my job.
I just saw someone got shocked by lightning 2 times, but they're still alive.
Were they outside?
Yes.
Yep, that's why you go inside. They don't get shocked by lightning.
How is the lightning supposed to hurt you? It's up in the air.
So it's up in the air, but lightning strikes. A lightning strike is when the lightning comes to the ground. And actually what happens is it doesn't actually get all the way to the ground, but the electricity, because there's electricity in the ground and everywhere around us, everything creates electricity. So what happens is it comes down, it comes close enough to the ground where it connects, right? So it connects. And if you happen to be standing there, right, then you can get struck by lightning. There's another saying, and I don't know if I'm here, but it's very rare you're going to get struck by lightning. It's never, probably never going to happen. It's very, 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 very rare.
Like if a lightning lands on a house, can it like break through?
If it lands on a house, it won't break through, like you're saying. So you did say it could start a fire. It could damage the house and start a fire. So if you think your house gets struck by lightning, that's another good time to call 911 and have me show up, make sure everything's okay. Don't remember?
Oh, how can lightning start a fire? Is it because the giant amount of energy in the lightning?
Yep, it produces a lot of energy, which gets all the molecules moving really, really fast, which creates heat, which starts a fire. Do you remember?
Yes. What attracts lightning?
What attracts lightning? That I don't know. Different things can attract lightning, things good and bad. But I'm not a meteorologist. You guys know what a meteorologist is?
Yes.
What's a meteorologist?
Scientist who studies weather.
Perfect. That's exactly what a meteorologist is, right? You probably see them on the news or on TV or on websites, right? That'd be a good question for them. They probably know all about that, but I'm not too wise on lightning.
What is one of your favorite stories or memories from being a firefighter?
I'd have to say recently, I remember being where you guys are now. I grew up here in Saline. I went to Saline schools. I went to Safety Town, and now I'm teaching Safety Town. So for me, it's gone all the way around. So for me, just recently, on Monday, I went to Safety Town and I went and sprayed water with the kids. We get to spray water. If you guys come see us, and I got my truck, we can take the hose out. We can spray water. Maybe your teachers will go stand out there. You can spray your teachers with water. So for me, that's probably been my favorite memory so far, being a fireman. But question?
When you're a firefighter, do you have to work every day?
I don't have to work every day, so I work every other day, right? So like today I'm working, right, and I work from 7 a.m. to 7 a.m. Right? I won't go home till tomorrow morning, and then I get the day off. And then the next day I'll come in and I work 7 a.m. to 7 a.m. and then I get to go home, right? So that's how we work, and we work that way. That way there's someone always at the fire station 24 hours. So you at 2 a.m. in the morning, you guys could give us a call. Someone will pick up the phone, right? You guys have any other questions?
Do you have your truck with you right now?
I do not have my truck with me right now. I have one of our utility trucks, unfortunately. It's not that exciting. It's actually just a basic pickup truck.
What can you see it?
You guys want to see it?
Yeah!
I mean, it's just a basic truck. It's just a truck.
I just want to.
It's just a basic truck.
It doesn't say Celine Fire. It doesn't say, it's not the red one. It's just his truck.
It's just a truck. It says Celine Fire on the side, but it's just a red pickup truck. It was actually given to us by Toyota. They donate trucks to us all the time.
Oh, you want to take a picture by it? Maybe we can, when he's done, we can just walk outside and take a picture by
Yeah,
it.
that'd be fine.
Joe has on.
One more question.
Has a Hercules Beetle ever lifted up one of the utility trucks? Because I'm pretty sure Hercules Beetle can pick up 2 pickup trucks.
A Hercules Beetle? I've never seen a Hercules Beetle, and if it can pick up a pickup truck, I'm not going anywhere near a Hercules Beetle.
It can pick you up.
Yeah, it can pick me up.
And throw you on the
Yeah, so I'm gonna stay away from those beetles.
It also reminds me like another day. Well, last time also. I was like looking through videos, just random videos, and then the fire alarm just went off because there was a bug.
A bug?
Yeah, there was a bug.
Yeah, different things can set off the fire alarms, or maybe someone accidentally set it off. But it's always a good idea to exit the building. I mean, you guys have fire plans and tornado plans at schools, right?
Yeah.
At your school, if a fire alarm goes off, you all get up and you walk out in an orderly fashion outside, right? That's when you might see my boss, right? Big, tall guy, shiny head. I probably shouldn't say that now that I'm on camera. But so even if it goes off, it's always a good idea to get up and go outside, to go ahead and go through with that fire plan you guys have set up, even though you don't know what's going on.
And if the police's phone number is 911, what's the firefighter's phone number?
911. It's the same thing. So that's
What if you call 911 and 911 again and again and again?
and again and again and again. Well, then you're definitely going to get a police officer at the very least. But we work very closely with the paramedics and the police department, so closely that the number's the same, 911. You call 911 and you're going to talk to a dispatcher who's going to figure out what you need and what you need first, but we're all going to show up, right? We're all going to come if it's necessary.
Well, what if you call 911 and they call to the police?
Yeah.
And it goes to the police, then they're going to show up, but they're also going to call us, right? So if you call 911, we know about it, right? If it goes to the police, even if you're talking to the police, we know about it. So that's how closely we work. Or if you call and you're talking to someone and the fire department's on the way and you need police, they're going to come too. We're going to let them know. So we work very, very closely together.
Okay, guys, we're gonna go outside and stand next to his truck and take a picture. Show us where you're
Finished?
Yeah.